is July 4th, and just as a recap, I went to the Alaska Zoo in Anchorage to try to find my family, and was basically stonewalled and sandbagged. And so then I went back to the airport, spent the night in the Anchorage airport, a little bit more investigation.
On the morning of July 3rd, I flew from Anchorage to Juneau. I'll never forget at the Juneau airport when I came back from that zoo up in Anchorage. I remember this video. I remember this so well.
Yeah, instead of kitty, we got this. Instead of kitty, we have this crap.
Exactly. Dead animals. Dead. Dead animals. I'll never forget this.
Excuse me. I gotta ask you a question. Would you rather see a live one or a dead one?
What
Alive. You'd rather see a live grizzly?
Yeah.
You come to Haines before this time, you could have seen one named Kitty. Kitty the grizzly. Now you see a dead one only.
Dead creatures. That's what the state wants, is a dead one. They don't want you to see a live one like they did with mine. They don't want to see a guy interacting with a grizzly bear in Haines. They want you to see a stuffed one.
You don't mind me recording this for a little bit?
I mean, I don't know what our policies are, but...
It's too late. You're already there. Do you remember last week seeing some crates and troopers and fishing game people here at Seaplanes in Juneau?
Amazing what I learned when I was waiting to fly from Juneau back to Haines to my home.
You can piece together a lot of information about what went on.
So I drove my neighbor's truck back to his place, got on my four-wheeler at his house.
The neighbors are saying that they've seen these vehicles that were at my place for the raid, a week ago. They're parked behind buildings out here, like the fire hall. And one neighbor saw a truck with two kennels that said AWCC on them. So I'm
Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center.
So I'm just going to kind of sneak through here and look at these places where they're purportedly hiding out and doing a surveillance on my property and me. I think they are. I'm quite sure of it, actually. But after all, even your light bulbs are listening to you these days.
Looking for trucks that were part of the raid. This is where they were hiding. But no one was there today. I continued my search, looking for these creepy people that stole my family. I kept searching. Studio X, nobody was there.
Peanut the squirrel, Fred the raccoon, now this wolf, the owl. Is Jasper also part of that list? Starting to grow, isn't it?
I stapled July 4th, 2025 on the Wolverine cabin porch and my little placard there that talks about the justification for having animals in captivity right below it. I took one last look at some of the signage at my park. And the postings of Bigfoot, of course. Land of Bigfoot. This is one of my favorite postings for the tourists. That is a skeleton that most people could not identify. And I won't tell you what it is here, but it did live at my park at one point. But it is this statement that I lived by and wanted to share. If you are going through hell, under the water even, keep going, because the destination is pure heaven. And then on the morning of July 5th, 2025, I got up early, took that four-wheeler to my neighbor's, and got in that truck that he loaned me before. It was an old junker truck, and the only problem was it ran out of gas. About 15 miles from the airport. I had to run about 15 miles to make it to that flight.
Driving to Haines to get to the airport, broke down. I ran about 15 miles.
From Alaska Seaplanes in Haines to sleeping on a Turkish Airlines flight to Istanbul from Seattle, landing in Istanbul. City of Istanbul, Turkey, July 8th, 2025.
Yes, you're welcome to Istanbul. Nice weather today. I hope you like it.
Thank you. I absolutely love Turkey. You're very kind. What is your name?
My name is Erkan.
Erkan.
Yeah.
You want to sell me a carpet?
Yes.
landing in Moscow, July 8th, 2025.
Alaska Department of Fish and Game, you took away my family. What would you do? What would you do if you were me? Would you even go back? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Of course I'm going to go back. And I'm going to go back and fight because I'm an American. And I love America. I want it to be like it was when I was a little kid. Where I could say what I wanted to do what I wanted to do, and believe the way I want to believe, and nobody could tell me otherwise. That's the way I've lived my whole life. Now, I come here to Russia to find that freedom I had as a kid. Are you kidding me? Charged for a crime I didn't commit. You know who's cruel to animals? You know who's cruel to animals? Is the Alaska Department of Fish and Game. That Matanuska facility in Palmer, Alaska. They got a Fauci-style research center there where they put fistulas and moose and all of that. Super cruel. They don't have a veterinarian care plan. Look it up. USDA. Very egregious acts that they do. They're the ones that are cruel, not me. You want to just turn it around, you see.
During the raid, journalists asked when the criminal charges were going to be filed or dropped, or whatever you want to say it, declared. And they said overnight or the next 36, 38 hours, something like that. I was there. I waited. I didn't run away. Nothing happened. So what am I going to do? How am I going to make a living? Never did I think that the state wouldn't come back, like in 24 hours, to get the rest of the animals. But nonetheless, I arranged my friend to take care of them in the meanwhile, to just manage a situation in which my entire income base was destroyed. No way to even for me to bring any money in. But at the same time, an opportunity to help my friend here in Russia build his dream, Kirill Potapov. Little did I know this would drag on and on and on.